to the theatre and then seeing the baby.
Yeah, the bits and pieces we only saw in the audience.
I can tell you a little story about that. It was actually written, I can say this, it was written very differently. And there was that's the only time there actually threatened to be a real mutiny on set. Because, do you remember that?
What?
Dirk Benedict turning up as God with an electric guitar. We were like...
No joke.
I was like, what?
I think every single one of us read it.
No joke. It was utterly surreal.
And so the original thing, actually, they booked the place because there was this thing that... somehow we were going to walk in and there was an orchestra playing. The orchestra was going to be playing Mars, Bringer of War, and I was there as Gaius Baltar playing lead violin. I was like, not joking, I'm reading this thing.
But it was all on the Watchtower as well, wasn't it?
No, I mean, it was a draft script, but I remember it was Mars, Bringer of War, and I was like, you know, that's mostly trumpets. Anyway, and so I was like, where's the lead violin? So we were a bit upset about it. We thought that it was... So that space was booked, I do believe, for the orchestra, but then they were like, you know what, maybe we're not going to do that. And so it was a far more unusual, the only way I can describe it is like that episode, something about, you know, what is it, something's coming to dinner, the shape of things to come, what is this? It got more surreal. And it seemed to me to be about the baby that Six and I were going to have, but we couldn't have because she was in my mind. So the whole thing was terribly freaky, and I think that Michael Reimer described, I think it was filmed brilliantly, by the way. I mean, that whole sequence, he said, you know what it's going to be like, James? It's going to be like a strange, weird, like, Cylon wedding. And like you and Trisha are going to walk up and the camera will start spinning around you, and it's like, even though there's no lines and whatever, it's like you've said I do. So the idea was that in something it was like he got married and had a baby in my mind. But that seemed to work better than playing lead violin.